Yeah, I'll go through here, do some invites. I knew I was coming back, but I'm gonna do these invites anyway. I wish they had an invite all button. You just invite your whole friends list or everybody in your that you communicate with in the chat, and you just invite everybody at one time. And like invite all. That's what we ought to start messaging to Instagram to Meta World. Um, okay, we back in here once again, chiefing with the chief, sponsored by Black Girl Magic, Part 3 on the Late Night Creep. What it do, peeps? What it do, peeps? What it do, peeps? So, gonna start with the brother, and then we gonna get on in here and see what he talking about.
Supreme peace, Rod. Supreme peace.
Supreme peace, God. What you know good? Tell the people
Oh,
where you chiming in from.
oh man, hold on. I got something for you. First, I got this
Tell
about
them where you chiming in from, guys, so they know.
Jacksonville, the finish line.
That's right, Florida in the house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, the first one is about life, about going through the test, about the trauma. Trauma, it means wound. And the only way you can heal a wound is you gotta give it air and let it breathe. That's the best way a wound will heal properly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now let me take a sip of this water for this one. All right. About Jacksonville. Jacksonville first name was Cal Ford.
Spell it.
Then they
Spell it.
COWFORD.
Excuse me.
Ooh, that's that good game. Oh, yes, sir. Oh, Rod.
Yeah, it's
Take a breath. Take a breath.
Hey,
Breathe for a second.
they be sending me all kind of remedies for the cough, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said the only remedy for a chronic cough is not to smoke the chronic, so therefore there is no remedy for the cough I got.
Oh, yeah, you right. Ooh, that's that chronic. I know what you're talking about. That bright green. It's bright green. Yes, sir. That's how I was. But the first name was Cal Ford. Then they switched it to Pablo Beach.
Pueblo.
Pablo, yeah, yeah. They switched it
Pueblo.
to that. The
Now remember, the Pueblo Indians left. Their whole village left. All
yeah,
of a sudden, they changed the name from Calford to Pueblo.
yeah. And
I
then they switched.
wondered if anything is connecting here.
Wait, Uncle Rod. The funny part about it, they came and put this monument, this Confederate monument in Hemming Plaza. They came and set that there. So look, when hear me out, Uncle Rod.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out. I say the 62-foot Vermont granite monument, which is topped with a bronze statue of a Confederate soldier in a winter uniform, was installed in Hemming Park in 1898 after the park's namesake Civil War veteran Charles C. Hemming donated the statue. And hold on, Uncle Rod.
Mm-hmm.
3 years later, it caught fire, and they said that statue, the bottom of it, was glowing red.
That's a hot ass fire. Look, how hot a fire got to be for metal to be glowing red?
Yeah, the statue was just taken from here in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the crazy part about it. And hold on, Aunt Rod, another thing, the great the Great Fire could be seen in Savannah, Georgia.
That was talking about when they set the Florida on fire. So they tried to burn Florida. They were trying to burn us out of the thicket.
Yeah, and a funny part about that, the Great Fire of 1901 was the most destructive event in Jacksonville history. Wiped out 2,368 buildings while leaving nearly 10,000 people homeless. But I'm gonna say 100,000.
Because they ain't going to never give you the full right numbers.
Exactly.
Remember Rosewood?
Yeah.
Rosewood was a Gullah stronghold. That was a military action when they burned Rosewood down. They was trying to get us out of that village because we ain't pussy as they Martin Luther King think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the people got to remember who the fuck they is, and they won't be doing this shit. We was beating their motherfucking ass, but we was losing so many people because they was setting whole cities on fire. Right? Now remember, when they set a city on fire, this the part they ain't tell you. Anybody get caught leaving the city getting gunned down. So now you either gonna stay in the fire or face the gunfire.
Or they
And
die
then
like a
they wonder where hell is at.
That's a shame. And Aunt Rod, I got two things to tell you. I got to tell you about that dirt bike dream because that happened in real time.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you about that again, and I got to tell you about the dream when I had got off the live with you that night.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
Well,
I
you
had
already told me about the dirt bike dream. Tell me
yeah, I
about
already
tell me about the other dream, and then we'll chat later on about the dirt bike dream again.
all right. So so I came to a place. I seen a man. He was just steady looking at the land. He had on a brown suit and he had on a brown hat. His hat matched his suit. So when I was walking towards him, he swung his flag around. He said, "Do not shred my flag." So when his flag reached his left shoulder, it turned into an energy weapon. It was glowing red and yellow, orange and yellow, something like that. And it looked like it had lava in it.
I think you told me about that dream before.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we went over that one already.
Yeah. But that's all I got for Young Rod. All
All
right.
right. Hey,
All
but
right.
peace to the guys, though. You good, money?
Yeah, peace.
We're gonna take in another caller. I'm gonna take in the sisters, and then we'll try to get another brother up here.
For sure, Aunt Rod.
All right.
All right.
There you go.
Hey,
Peace,
hey.
peace, peace. How you doing, Uncle Rod?
I'm doing good, sweetie. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Where
But
you
I
chiming
was
in
guided,
from?
California. I'm in California.
California in the house, Queen Khalifa on deck. Let's go.
Yes. Well, I mean, I wish I could tell you everything, but where I'm at right now, I'm in a really good space. I had a lot of transitioning, like a lot of us did. It started off last year. I really started getting more intuitive. I'd get Reiki healing. Um, I'm started my own business. I'm in CMOS, and I'm a healer, and I love it. But I'm also a mother of six, and I'm starting to find where I feel a little bit in the middle. Like, I love my business and I love being a healer, but I don't want it to take away from my motherhood either. So I'm just trying to like make the right decisions and make sure I'm doing my purpose and what I need to do without taking, away from the other. I guess it's
Okay,
like trying to
so
find my balance.
this is a good question because a lot of people have that concern about balancing motherhood with like what kind of healing practice do you do?
Well, I do CMOS. So first I make CMOS gel, which has been like really big in my city. So I've noticed I help a lot of people with health issues, cancer patients, even myself. Like I totally, got healthy and everything like that. My family. So that happened, and then I also got into energy healing, the Reiki healing, and so I started doing that. Just a little bit touching on it, but just
So
in me, I'm just a natural healer.
this is the bridge. I'm about to give you the bridge. Your mother time can also incorporate your children into making CMOS.
Right, and then they do, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Hmm.
you can one or two or more of them is going to be interested in learning Reiki.
Okay,
So if you teach them, you still spending mother time with your children because
exactly.
mother time is also giving them tools and skills that they can go out and do the same that you do, heal and to be positively impactful. By you incorporating them into your business, you kill a couple of birds with one stone. You spend
Okay.
mother time with your children. You
Hmm.
teaching them the profession that you're doing because you know that it works,
Right, right.
right?
Of course, yes.
So now you're able to teach as a mother the things
Hmm.
that they should know. So you incorporate their home education into the business.
Right. Okay. Yes. Of course. Yes. Okay.
So
Yes.
when you at work, they at school and you they teacher,
Hmm.
right? And y'all
Right.
all go in there together. So one 6 month stretch, you might want to teach your oldest daughter how to do the books.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
how we keep track. So that's
Hmm.
her math, that's her business class, right?
Right. Right.
And that's also critical thinking, right? Because she
Hmm.
gotta
Right.
gotta pay attention,
Hmm.
right? Then
Hmm.
she's doing the work, so now she's getting clerical training,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Right.
And she's also having to work with the computer, so she's learning the computer. So you incorporating what you doing to make a living
Hmm.
to make your whole living.
Wow. Right.
Don't allow it to be a stressor. Allow it to be a motivator and the opportunity to teach your children how to be entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So I want you to get a book. It's called "Developing the Entrepreneurial Mindset." It's like a textbook,
Okay. I got it.
and that's going to give you your guidelines on teaching them about the business from the perspective of an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So now you bridging the gap between knowing how to perform the function and then knowing how to turn it into a business.
Exactly. Okay. Okay.
Right. So as a mother, you always have opportunity to incorporate your work, especially when you're self-employed, with mothering, so that gives you even more time to be mama.
Yeah. It does. It does. It does. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Yeah. And make sure you stick to your off days.
Yes. I needed to hear that. I
Stop
do.
working on your off days.
Okay.
When your
Yeah.
off days is for y'all to do family activities,
Exactly. Yeah.
right?
It is. It is.
So,
Yes.
right. So while your sea moss is simmering or something,
All right.
playing your off days with functions, and you can get to a mother to mothers group to get suggestions from other mothers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And y'all can also use that to form a community bridge for all of the mothers who want their children to have a richer, fuller life.
I love
So the
that. That's amazing. Yes. I can make
so
that happen. Me and another mom, we're both business women, and we that's what we deal with is trying to find balance with our kids and also being entrepreneurs.
once you
So
get it down pat, keep notes because when you
we
get good
will,
at
yeah.
it, and once you've accomplished your goal, now you can train the other mothers on how to incorporate their business as an educational tool to homeschool their children.
I love it. You know what we're actually going to do tomorrow? Me and my friend, we're actually going to go start some nonprofits. And we were trying to figure out what exactly we want to do with
Well,
them
right
and
now
just,
is not a good time because IRS is about to blow the fuck up.
ah, damn. Well, it was
But
the
you're not
intention,
gonna have
right?
to look. You can still do the nonprofit. You
Hmm.
just don't have to get no tax forms,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
right?
Right, right.
And just you can still do the same work, but
Okay,
stay out of here. And then when you get the family bank, you use it as the family bank charitable contribution.
okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So we know how to restructure
Mm-hmm.
with the tools that we have in front of us, but somebody sometimes have to put the dots together because we too close to see it.
Yeah. Well, we ready to rebuild too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. So that's like my job is to get the women back these little tidbits
We appreciate it. It
for
is. It's
breaking
coming
up.
back.
Yeah. So once y'all start seeing it and then y'all start bringing the corporate, y'all taking the whole community back from these doubles.
We are. We ready. I'm ready. I'm ready, Uncle Rod. I am. I'm ready. I'm
Yeah.
ready.
So
Yes.
this is important too. So this is your guideline. She said, still do your bylaws and set up your board structure. This is
Okay.
your guideline because the guideline, when you write it down, it makes it easier to follow it.
It is. Yes.
So the even like for your house rules,
Mm-hmm.
could be used as business bylaws for the children. So
Right.
you
Yep.
teaching. So now you teaching them that if you do have to work for somebody else, you can follow the rules. You know,
Right.
seriously,
Yeah.
right? Don't take it personal.
Right.
That's I always tell them that. Don't take it personal because they don't know you like that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't know you like that, they can't mean anything that's nefarious because they don't know you like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. Yeah. I get. I get it. I get it.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but
Um.
everything that you can use to your advantage, use to your advantage.
Will do.
They threw
Mm,
rocks at us. We built castles. Fuck it. Keep
yeah.
throwing them, motherfuckers. Pretty soon, this castle gonna be a whole,
You're right.
you
You're
know.
right.
So we taking
Um.
everything they use to try to oppress us, and we using the same shit to come up. They didn't ever think that you would have the audacity to say, anybody know how to balance this mother thing, work thing out while I do my own thing? They never,
Right.
because we used to didn't ask those questions.
Right. I just did it. I'm
Yeah,
doing it. And
yeah,
everybody looks around me too, my family, friend, how are you doing? I'm just doing it. I push forward and I just make it happen.
yeah.
Just make it happen.
Right.
So,
So now you can see the structure,
right.
and it'll help you be more effective being the mother that's Miss Seamoss mom.
That's a first. That's a good one. I like that. Okay. I can do that. Yeah, you're right. I can do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Thank you so
But
much.
yeah, but make sure you pick you a banker in the family to start teaching how to do the money, how to
Okay.
watch the money, and know how to tell good business decisions from bad ones.
Oh, okay. Will do. Yeah.
So as you telling them this, they're gonna get better at it than you. So expect that. But guess
Will.
what? There's a reason the student can never outshine the master. Because the greater the student is, the better the master taught him.
Yeah, yeah. That's why it's gonna be. It's rewarding. It's
Yeah.
gonna be. Yeah, I'll be very rewarded. I'll be very happy, very proud.
And I'm always
Exactly.
here if we have to run into a bump or something.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Well, you have a good night. Thank you for taking my call. I really appreciate it. Helped me out so much. And much peace and love to all the Soul family out there.
Thank you, sweet.
Thank you.
Everybody, everybody.
Peace,
Peace to the
peace, peace.
guys. What's going
What's
on?
up, God?
Where you chiming in from?
I'm from Philly. From Philly.
Philly in the house, goddamn it. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about,
Philly.
brotherly love.
Yes, sir.
Mutual
It,
respect.
yeah, much love, man. I'm happy we finally talked. I had DM'd you a while ago. I had missed your call. So much been going on, but so I got like about three things I want to ask you just to get a more deeper understanding on. So, um, first I'm gonna start with my son because he's most important. Um, so with my son's mother, when she was 5 months pregnant, once they found out he was a boy, it was like a light switch cut on. All in all, they said that my son was going to be a vegetable. Said he wasn't going to be able to function, yada yada, and that they tried to convince her multiple times to abort him. I wasn't with it. I told them whatever the universe wanted us to have, we wasn't going to love them or treat them no differently.
Facts.
I didn't feel it in my soul. Feel me? I just didn't feel it. You know what?
So
Women.
how old is Shorty now?
My son is 7 months. So we actually are in court with these monsters. It's a lot of a lot of chaos. It's a lot of chaos. She did get an MRI when she was 5 months, but now they can't produce them MRI images. They can't find them, but whole time we have them. We have everything. You know what I mean? But all in all, we kind of like being railroaded, and
What's the fight about?
that's the thing. So now they trying to stick with this. So we went to a specialist when he was 2 months. So first they said that these things would be visible to the eye when he was born, which they wasn't. We left the hospital
What's
in two
supposed to
months.
be wrong with him? What did they diagnose?
So now they trying to diagnose him with cerebral palsy.
Okay.
But
Do he have like well, I can't evaluate him over the phone, but
right,
there's a couple things. At 7 months, he's still young enough for you to start using supplements that stimulate the central nervous system to cause it to catch up in development. Cerebral palsy is normally the central nervous system doesn't fully develop with the fetus.
right,
So it causes them to um, draw the physical form up,
right.
right? But
So
the good thing is you're catching it at this age.
right,
Now,
because
this is what I want you to do, because I'm not going. I got two herbalists. The one I
okay,
normally go to here, but for what you need to call Dr. G from Reawakened Minds. Tell her I sent you,
Dr.
and
G.
she have a herbalist that can stimulate the. He can give you supplements to stimulate the central nervous system to break past the inhibitions created by the palsy.
Okay,
So you'll start to see improvements in the child if you can get the treatment. It would have been better at birth, but 7 months old, he's still young enough to
that's
affect it
that's why
in
I'm
a
saying like
positive development.
that. All right, so cerebral palsy that just came out of. All right, so mind you, that's what I'm saying is chaos because we are battling. All right, so we battling DHS, and you know what I mean because all of these diagnoses came from physicians. No one is so that's like basically we say we trying to get to Washington D.C. It's five of us. We all take our own individual routes, but the end result is D.C.
Right. Well,
That
sometimes
so they
right
end
now,
result.
right now, my concern ain't with the legal case.
Right.
Fuck them people in their legal case. My concern is to accelerate the central nervous system of your son so that he have an opportunity to develop beyond a palsy, because the central nervous system is still growing and it's growing fast.
Right.
And there's supplements that can give him that will unlock his muscles,
Okay.
because they normally lock up from the condition.
Okay.
So the Dr. G from Reawaken Minds have a herbalist. He good. I talked to him, and yeah, so he got the means to give you a detailed analysis.
Yeah, because that's what we trying to. Because he's not showing no signs of none of these things that
He might not have none of it. That's
right.
why I'm sending you to a
So,
homeopathic physician that's licensed that
right.
can tell you if the doctors is, because your son might be what you call a chosen one.
2222. That's when he came. That's when he was born. 2222.
Yeah, so you need to go to the herbalist, and have his birth chart done,
Okay.
astrology,
Yeah.
and see when you get that done, see if you can send it to me,
I will.
because I'm almost positive that they trying to get your son from you, and he's a chosen one, a golden child.
That the specialist he said we have to get the MRI and the genetic testing done, because we have to see what he is. So I'm paying attention, because my spiritual awakening was 2 years ago. I was shot multiple times, my face, my neck, and my lung. They couldn't tell me. I got a bar in my neck. All in all, I had a beautiful outer body experience, and I had a sit down with 7 individuals, and they told me I didn't come down here for what was exposing my life to, and that they will remove me.
Yeah, that same thing happened to me when I tried to leave. I found a back door through the astral travel, because I'm kind of cunning like that. And I was like, I'm done, I'm ghost, and I dipped.
Right.
And they caught up to me and was like, where you think you going?
No, seriously.
You made a deal to do some work. You need to get your
No.
ass back down there and get busy. There is no exits for you.
That's why I like, now that I'm speaking high vibration. I'm predominantly the only, like, the man in my family. You feel me? It's mostly women, so it's like I did a big 360. Like a complete different individual. The old me died. I always say that. The best thing the Most High can do is give you a new vessel, and that's what He did for me. And I be I'm like, I don't have a choice. Like, I don't.
Where he was peeing. This ain't the only comment that's concurring with that. Some of these sisters are psychic, and they can see when you said his birthday, listening to the scenario, and they'll open up the channel and they can see what's going on.
Of course.
Look, before you do anything else, get in touch with Dr. G. Tell her I sent you to get her herbalist information.
Okay.
Her he a homeopathic physician. They have diagnostic equipment, and they your people.
All right.
Okay, the other people that hijacked our system. There's not supposed to be a hospital. Those are supposed to be doula centers. All of the physicians are supposed to be under a doula, a grand doula. A grand doula is the equivalent of a chief doctor in modern medicine. So get your son checked.
I'm just trying to
Get your
go
son
about
checked
this
out by
from
your
the
tribal
people now.
physician. That's what you tell him.
All right.
Right?
Now,
And
go ahead.
okay, what else you got?
So I'm, all this, has been smacking me left and right. So, like a bum rush. So my grandmother, she called me. Well, she's my mom's sister's mother. They all have the same father. So she called me. I was on the phone, and she was like, "Boy, do you know who you are?" So I'm like, ooh. She like, your name is Kasim. You are the Lion Prince, Hebrew. And she like search your name. So, I did my geometry and, things like that. And, I understand that I am a rolling nine. And, I'm just trying, my last name is Atwell. So when I looked up, Atwell, I came to the, a saying it's actually pronounced at will. And it's it had a crest. It had a royalty crest. And it was a British family, so it kind of like threw me off, even though I know that they stole all of our, our birthrights. My father, he was a very, my father transcended when I was 2 to a motorcycle accident. You would thought he died and respected to this day. So in my family trying to seek understanding and more knowledge of who I am, and my purpose. I do know that I am a light worker, you know what I mean? And
Your purpose
I was
right now.
trying to, talking to these is
Your
my son for
your
sure.
purpose right now. Yeah. When you get done doing your due diligence on that, everything opens up for you.
Yes, sir.
All right. So just do what I told you. Get in touch with Dr.
Nah,
G at
thanks.
Reawaken Minds. Tell her I sent you
Yeah.
to get her homeopathic physician to look at your
Okay.
son because you don't trust these doctors. And I believe that it's also along with, and remember this, for anybody else who have children with the palsy, um, the massage therapy at least once a week for the first 2 years is critical to preventing the locking of the muscles. If it's going to be able to be done, those massages, learn how to do them yourself because it give you good bonding time with the child.
Yeah.
But you need a good deep muscle massage at least once a week to release the tension between the nerve and the muscle. This is why we need our doulas back. Mm. Yeah. So they can drop him out. I'm gonna take you in, sister. This might take us out the door, y'all. Um, yes. See, if he would have had a doula, the doula could have been the sound bowls is good for, especially in utero. If he had a doula, she'd have started giving the baby therapy to stimulate nerve growth in when the mother was pregnant, right? But that didn't manifest. That's not what he had. So now he got to try to do something um, post-birth, postnatal for the child to try to stimulate him to respond normally, as normal as possible. Okay, so let's just say come in.
Greetings, greetings.
Greetings, guys. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm just listening to all our people speak about the traumas that we're experiencing in these hospitals. And I spoke on this before in a live with you of how important it is for us to get our babies born the right way. And in order for us to do that, we have to get away from these facilities because they are literally causing so much trauma and pain upon us, we don't even understand. But my problem is our people don't even know that it's a problem. So how do we even address that issue? Because they
Yeah,
don't even know that it's a problem.
right. So a lot of them not gonna know it until they start arresting doctors for medical malpractice that's been covered up by insurance companies.
Mm-hmm. And see,
Right?
that's what. Oh, my apologies. Go ahead.
Yeah. So once they start seeing the level of doctor collusion with insurance companies, and they start seeing the level of collusion between doctors and pharmaceutical companies that pay doctors advertising fees for giving scripts out for certain medications, whether you need it or not.
Yep.
So they're giving people medication to treat a kidney disorder they don't have. And the side effect is the prolonged treatment of the kidney, there's nothing wrong with it, makes the kidney become defective.
Mm-hmm. And see, this is the thing. Like, our minds are very powerful, and when we go to them and allow them to infiltrate our births, they can tell us whatever they want to tell us. And people don't understand how traumatizing those ultrasounds are to the baby. A lot of the problems that our babies face is dealing with those ultrasounds. It destroys the brain tissue. It destroys the organs. We're not even giving our babies a chance when we do that. This is my baby right here. Can y'all see her?
Hey, little lady.
Okay, so she sparked my awakening. She was born August 24th, 2017. Now, when I was pregnant with her, I was 22 weeks pregnant with her, and they told me, I was getting ultrasounds. I didn't know. I was ignorant. I didn't know. So I was getting ultrasounds with her, and all of a sudden, the technician walked out. Five or six white coats walk in the room, and they're like, and I'm looking at them, none of them look like me. So they're like, well, your baby is showing no bridge in the nose. We're seeing calcium build up in the heart, which is indicators that your daughter has, your baby has autism. I mean, not autism, Down syndrome. The first question they asked me is, do you want to abort? And I'm like, hell no. I'm like, whatever's going on with her, that's my child. I'm going to deal with it. I'm not aborting. So then a week later, they called me and they're like, well, can we do an amniocentesis? Amniocentesis is when they take that long needle and stick it through your womb to extract amniotic fluid. So I felt like knowing the information that I know now, I feel like they were trying to basically kill my baby because they knew what was coming through my port.
Yeah, so there's a technique of fetal assassination is what it's called.
Hmm?
They use a long needle and pierce the brain of the fetus.
Yep.
And when they pull the needle out, you be all right for a while. But the baby is now hemorrhaging in the brain and you don't know it, and the doctor ain't gonna tell you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so it's like I extend my knowledge to pregnant women. I work in a hospital, and it's hard for me to be there. It's hard for me to go to work every day, but so many of our people are there. I feel like I have to be there. And I messaged you the other day, and I was telling you like how overwhelmed I am. I know that I have a job here to do, but I'm overwhelmed. Like, it's a lot, and I really don't know how to balance that out right now.
Well, the first thing you have to do is be the observer until you know what to do. You
Mm-hmm.
might be there only to talk to certain people.
Mm-hmm.
So don't feel no type of way if people don't feel like they listening, but listen to your energy draw you to who you need to talk to.
And that's what's been happening. And the people that the universe has been attracting to me, they are very receptive. Like I told you before, I pass out herbs at work. I'm talking to people about, like, it was one young lady. She had took the shot. She took both the shots. I was on vacation, and maybe a week later, she went in the hospital with heart failure. And so they was telling her she needed to have open heart surgery. They gave her like 1,000 fucking pills that they wanted her to take. So the people at the job was telling her, you need to talk to Anya. You need to talk to Anya before you do all of that. Long story short, I saw her maybe 2 weeks after that. I gave her a herb blend that deals specifically with the heart. 2 weeks after that, I saw her in the corridors, and she was like, I went to the doctor and they assessed my heart, and they asked me, like, how's the medicine and stuff working? she told them, I haven't been taking the medicine. I went the natural route, the herbal route. And they told her whatever she'd been doing, keep doing it, because her heart was looking 100% better. And it's like, if our people just trusted the process, we will be so much better. Like some of our people question herbs, but we don't question what these doctors giving us. Like, question them motherfuckers like y'all question us. You know what I'm saying? At least,
Yeah, but see, I tell them to question me for a reason, and I want them to, because if I can get them used to questioning me, and they going somewhere where they wasn't asking questions before, it'll become habit. It'll become habit. So let them question me. Come
yeah.
on with the question. I want you to be in the habit of asking the motherfucker, okay, so what is this supposed to be doing?
Yep.
How is this supposed to work?
Yep. And I break
Right?
it down to them just like that. And then I question them about, now I want you to ask your doctor these same questions about what these pills are doing to your body, because yeah, they might be giving you something for high blood pressure, but it's fucking up your liver and your kidney. So what are we supposed to do when you can just take the natural herbs, which we have gotten away from trusting, but we trust these niggas.
Now, how can something that they made in a laboratory be better for you than what God created if they're supposed to do the same thing?
Exactly. But our people have been so far away. Like, they trust these people, and I'm making it my goal to show them why they should not trust them. So.
Well, it ain't so much of that. Revamping the system. This is why we're gonna be systematically revamping the system. They can't stay here murdering motherfuckers on the medical bed.
Yep.
What the that we might as well leave the police here.
Exactly. And this is the thing too. Like, we damn, I lost my train of thought. Fuck. But
It's okay.
it just escaped me that quick. Oh no, there it go. So when you was talking about the whole network system, we have to realize whenever you're in a network, these are these people's friends. They're going to send you to their friends so that their friends can make money off of you. So it's not like they're sending you to somebody because they want you to be better. No, they want their friends to make money too. So like we got to get away from all of that shit. And I'm just so ready for this shit to come to a head, because I can't do it no more.
Well, first of all, first thing we're going to do is people not going to have to pay for medical care. And it's going to be more of family doctors, that each family going to have their own physician. Every family going to have their own physician. Somebody in your family better go to school to be a doctor, because you're going to have a physician in your family, or you better send one of them girls out to marry one, because you're going to have a doctor in the goddamn family.
Well, my mom and my sister are both RNs, so we got it legit over here, and both are into like a natural holistic care.
Right. So when we go back to the family structuring, like, you know how you put elderly in the nursing home now? We don't do that. We send them to Big Mama house.
Can I tell you?
Aunties that's learning caregiving that live with Big Mama, that's where they practicing.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, because it just sparked something to my memory. My grandmother transitioned last year, and 2 years prior to her transitioning, she was in a assisted living home in Michigan. So I went to me and my family went to visit her. We're in Chicago. We went to visit her out in Michigan. So this was during the whole COVID time when they wouldn't allow nobody into the facilities. And so what we had to do was stand outside her window. So as we were standing outside her window, I was guided to pick up the rocks that were below her window. So when I picked up the rocks and I walked in, I put them in my car, I got a clear vision of her, and I heard a voice saying that she was going to go into the Lion's Gate. At that point, she was 86 years old. She transitioned 2 years later at the age of 88.
88, Lions Gate.
Yes. And I told my brother, because it was literally like a doubling over moment for me. And my brother, like, what the fuck wrong with you? I'm like, I just got a message that Granny is going to go into the Lion's Gate. At the time, I didn't know what the fuck that meant. So I'm like, you know, it gets crazy over here. And then like maybe a month ago, my mom was having some allergy issues, so I made her a blend for her allergies. And I'm like, okay, I was doubting myself. I kid you not. I was sitting right here in my bed where I am right now. My grandmother appeared right in front of me and told me, "What is your problem? You better trust yourself." And I'm looking like, what the fuck? And my daughter was sitting on the chair right there. And she was like, "What, mom? What?" But I was in a trance, like listening to my grandmother. And she was like, "We got you. We not gonna let you feel." And I'm like, "Who is we?" And her sister, who transitioned a year after her, stepped forward and she said, "We got you. Trust yourself."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, whew. But yeah, it's somebody said something about C-sections. I want to speak on C-sections being one of the most harmful things we can do to bring our children into this existence, right? Because it again, going back to what was spoken earlier about how where our births are being, our women are being suffering from postpartum. Our babies have to come through our birth canal. It's good bacteria down there. It's hair down there. Like all of those things help our babies connect. Every time we go against that process of having our babies through a natural birth, we create a disconnect, right? Because we're not able to connect with the baby not able to connect with us. So then, like I went through postpartum with all of my children because all of my births were stole from me because I didn't know this information. But I used to like have dreams about flushing my kids down the toilet, and I resonate with what you said when you was like, you know, we might have negative thoughts, but when it come down to it, we'll fuck a motherfucker up over our kids. But I would never hurt them. But it's the point that those thoughts were going through my head and I didn't understand why. And even now today, I have like separation anxiety when I'm away from them. And I know that it's because all of their births were stolen from me.
You right on point with that. The C-section thing too. A lot of doctors root for the C-section because they got a golf game to get to, and I could get this baby out in 4 hours, where you're gonna be in labor for the next 72 hours,
And get
never
more money.
knowing that the whole extended labor is the psychological connecting of the mother and the child. With the prolonged labor is to embed the oxytocin response into the mother by constantly contracting the uterus. Your baby been trying to talk to me the whole time. You might as well bring her over here and let her say hi to the people.
So say, oh, did you say hi? So just a little history. I don't want to put no labels or anything on her, but she's been she's autistic. She's very special. And she's really good with numbers. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Can you
Hey,
see
little
her?
lady. Yeah, I can see her. She trying to act like it ain't important now. I see you. I thought you was trying to tell me. I thought you was trying to tell me something. Now you don't want to talk.
I got you, sis. Somebody said never label her. I got you, but I just wanted to let you all know how special she is, but I didn't know any other way to explain it other than what, than using that term. But I know different than that. But yeah, she's definitely amazing, and she's right now she's choosing not to use this language. But I'm telling you, she speaks to me through my dreams. She speaks to me like she speaks to me like telepathically.
She talking to me now. And she want me to know what she talking about, how she say it, not how we want her to say it. Ain't that right, sweetie? See? Yeah, somebody understand me.
Yeah, and then like when I some like most of the time, I'm gonna just be honest with you, I connect better with her when I'm chiefing, and when I understand what she's trying to convey to me, you can see the joy. You can see the excitement with her. Like, damn, my mama get me. My mama understand me. It's
Yes.
powerful.
She's one of the defiant ones. She's rebelling against this slave language.
Yep. And that's what she told me. And you know what, when my grandmother transitioned at home, because she kept packing her shit. And my mom was like, evidently she wanted to be at home. So we pulled her from Michigan to Chicago and brought her home and allowed her to transition at my mom's house. When she was transitioning, my grandmother, I took her, my grandma, she heard her in the living room talking. My grandma said, who is that in there? I said, that's my baby. She said, go get her. I went in the living room and I got her and I took her back in the room to where my grandmother was. And my grandma said, hey, baby. And she said, she just looked at her and she gave her a little scream. And she was like, she don't talk? I said, nah, Granny, she's choosing not to use words right now. My grandmother told me, she said, it's not that she don't want to talk. She said, she don't know you. You haven't introduced yourself to her. I said, what? She said, so immediately I'm like, when I got home, I hugged her, I kissed her, and I told her, I'm unique, I'm your mommy. I just introduced myself to her. And I really feel like from that moment on, it created a beautiful bond between us. And I truly feel like my grandmother...
She was overriding the errors of the birthing process.
Yeah, because her birth was...
telling you that.
Her birth was stolen from me because I ended up having a C-section with her as well. They told me I couldn't have her vaginally. So they ended up giving me a C-section with her. And I have gotten over the guilt of what I put myself through and what I put my children through. I've healed from all of that. Now I'm ready to fucking fight. Now
that's the first thing we feel like when we start healing and we be ready to test some shit up.
I want to fight.
If I'd have known this shit, I'd have kicked me a motherfucking ass 20 years ago about this shit.
I'm telling you. But now my mission is to prevent another mother feeling like I felt. You know what I'm saying?
That's what this whole doula center development is going to be about when we get done reclaiming our shit. Because we not doing this shit. They wanted me to ask the question. I said, no, we not doing none of that fuckery shit that they've been doing to these women in the hospital. I got a video for y'all that's listening to this. It's called, it's on Facebook. And it's called Desecration of the Holy Places, Hysterectomy and Mastectomy. Y'all might want to check that out. It's about 3 years ago.
I am a Virgo. Oh, that's my sis right there, OG. I am a Virgo.
Yeah. Okay, sweetie, I'm gonna try to get a couple more calls in before this.
Can I ask one more question about the baby? Sleep. She don't sleep. I don't know what to do.
Give her CBD oils.
Okay.
CBD, it'll allow her to relax.
Oh, well, she just confirmed it. She said, yep. So, all right. Gratitude. I appreciate you as always.
Okay.
All right. How do I get out? Yep.
I've been seeing you, Lorenzo, talking about you need to get in here. You gotta come on up and talk that talk. Chiefing with the chief late at night.
Yo, greetings, good blessings, God. What's up? You hear me?
Peace, God. Where you chiming?
What's going on? What's going? Let me see if I can get my camera to. I don't know how to fix my camera though. How to spin it around. Oh, man, my heart beating. I want to talk to you for so long. It's been a long time. I'm gonna leave it like this. Anyhow, it's been a long time. I want to talk to you, right? So I'm calling you from Trinidad.
Wait a minute, you gotta fix your camera because people need to see.
All right, I know. I'll see how to do it. All right. Yeah.
Peace, God.
I'm calling you all the way from peace. I'm calling you from Trinidad now. You have a lot of people on Trinidad and Tobago. Have a lot of people in Trinidad that love you and they know about you. You wouldn't believe the amount of people that I put on to you, and it was like, yo, I can't believe who is him and this and that. And how he's speaking, what he's saying, he's giving people encouragement. Like 2 days ago, I let my mother look at you. My mother was like, yo, I like him, man. I really like him because he talking about the leadership, because she realizing that people is lost and people don't know who to turn to. Like, there's nobody out there that's giving you a hope to see this system destroyed, because we know it's a lot of fuckery is going on. So I wanted to ask you a few questions, all right? Because now, with me, I realized, like, so I love the brain banging. I love the brain bang, right? But I love the gang banging part too, because when I was 12 years old,
You sound like me.
yeah, when I was 12 years old, I started my own, had my own gang because I grew up in Long Island. And, you know, I was like, oh, this is it. All right, brotherhood. You know what I mean? It was love for each other. We're sticking together because there's a crew of us and there's thousands of them. So we got to stick together. So now what I'm thinking now is like, well, the light's supposed to go out soon, hopefully, right? When them lights cut, I'm thinking, is that the time the gangbang gonna start? Because the gangbang got to go down sometime.
Look,
like when the gang.
Look. We gonna get our chance. We got some dirty motherfuckers that's some real good men got to do some real horrible shit to about our babies.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people got it. Some people.
Listen to what I say. You got some real good men that got to do some real horrible shit to some real horrible people about our babies. So don't worry about that. When the call come out, when the OGs step out, when the leadership step out on the land to be seen in front of the public, they gonna get OG calls and get where you need to be, because we finna clean this shit up. They know who all of the dirty players is at every level.
Right.
So we ain't got to worry about that part. That's gonna come. But right now, we brain banging.
All right.
So stick to the brain banging until the OGs say we gang banging, because they gonna tell us who the real ops is and stop us.
And we gonna go.
Right, because they've been telling us the motherfucker in the blue is your op if you wear red. No, they ain't. It's that motherfucker hiding behind that other motherfucker throwing a rock at your goddamn ass. That motherfucker that's the one we want. So right now we brain banging. We trying to get the people to know this shit is over with. OG called and laid down the motherfucking play on their ass. Look, I'm gonna tell you what to look for. On November the 10th, if them inmates don't move.
Right.
If the inmates don't move, if the people tell they relatives, they got a spokesperson in the street, one of the chiefs on the land willing to speak on behalf of the inmates, no movement on November the 10th. If they do that shit, and that's gonna scare the shit out of them. The most fearful thing that these motherfuckers is a unified prisoner community.
Mm-hmm.
It was because they know that all of our men is held captive by the enemy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying with the banging. Right. We're gonna have to go and get people. Got to come out of that jail. I have a cousin in jail right now, and the only way he gonna come out is if the banging start or something like that. Something gotta happen, because you can't keep these people in this jail for so long. Their case ain't get tried yet. It's been 10 years and all type of crazy shit.
They have no certificate of jurisdiction from anybody for anybody that's currently incarcerated. They have never produced, because nobody has ever challenged for the certificate of jurisdiction that the legislative branch is supposed to give to the executive branch. Because of the break in the chain of jurisdictional command, all of the inmates didn't fall under my jurisdiction, chief of the land.
Right.
So now I told them motherfuckers, when the inmates don't move on, when the OG car go out, the Crips ain't gonna move, Bloods ain't gonna move, Bikers ain't moving, Stones ain't moving, Vice Lords ain't moving, and all of the neutrons, they gonna understand the situation, so they not moving.
Right.
Right. So then when they go talk to them, because they always want to know who's behind it, who the one told y'all no movement, and they say, well, this is an OG call from the street. And I'm not talking to nobody but Farrakhan, Malachi York, or the three chiefs. Other than that, don't send nobody knocking on my door to discuss and negotiating. When I tell the motherfuckers to tear this bitch up, how you want that? Coast to coast.
Mm-hmm.
Right?